Most of us live our lives trapped in time. We replay old mistakes, regrets, and painful memories from the past. We project fears, worries, and endless scenarios into the future. And while our minds are busy racing back and forth, we miss the only moment that truly exists, the present. Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now is not just another self-help book. It is a spiritual awakening, a guide to freedom from the prison of the mind. It teaches us that peace, joy, and fulfillment are not found in tomorrow or yesterday, but in the eternal now. Think about your own life. How often do you find yourself lying awake at night, replaying conversations you wish had gone differently, or imagining problems that haven't even happened yet? This constant mental chatter creates suffering. The mind is a powerful tool, but when it controls us, it becomes our greatest enemy. Tolle explains that the way out is awareness. Awareness is the ability to step back from the endless stream of thoughts and realize, I am not my mind. I am the awareness observing my mind. This shift is the beginning of liberation. The present moment is not just a slice of time. It is life itself. Everything you have ever experienced happened in the now. Everything you will ever experience will happen in the now. Past is memory. The future is imagination. The now is reality. In this cinematic summary, we will explore the core lessons of the power of now. Why time is an illusion and the present moment is the only reality. How to silence the mind and dissolve the ego. How to disarm the pain body, the emotional baggage that keeps us trapped. How presence transforms relationships, work, and even death itself. This is not just information. It is transformation. Because when you truly enter the now, you discover a peace that cannot be shaken, a joy that does not depend on circumstances, and a freedom that is beyond the mind. Stay with me until the end because this journey is not about learning something new. It is about remembering something ancient. The truth that life is happening now, and the now is all you ever have. Eckhart Tolle begins with a radical truth. Time, as we usually experience it, is an illusion. The past exists only as memory. The future exists only as imagination. The present moment, the now, is the only reality. Yet most people live trapped in psychological time, constantly pulled backward into regret or forward into worry. Think about how often your mind drifts. You replay old mistakes, conversations, and missed opportunities. You imagine future problems, deadlines, or fears. And while your mind is busy racing back and forth, life is happening right now, unnoticed. This obsession with time creates suffering. Tolle explains that the mind is like a projector, takes images from the past and future and plays them on the screen of your awareness. But the movie is not real. The only thing real is the present moment. When you realize this, you begin to awaken. Consider this simple practice. Whenever you feel anxious, ask yourself, what problem do I have right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Usually the answer is none. Right now you are breathing. Right now you are alive. Right now there is peace. The suffering exists only in the mind's projection of time. Tolle uses powerful metaphors. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone is a regret from the past or a worry about the future. You carry it everywhere and it exhausts you. But if you drop the backpack, if you step into the now, suddenly you feel light, free, alive. Or think about standing in a doorway. Behind you is the past. Ahead of you is the future. But the doorway itself, the threshold, is the now. Life is always lived in the doorway. The past and future are shadows. The now is reality. This doesn't mean you ignore practical time. You still schedule meetings, plan projects, and set goals. But you don't live in them. You use clock time as a tool, not as a prison. Psychological time, the endless replay of past and future, is what creates suffering. Tolle explains that most people are addicted to time. They believe happiness will come in the future. When I get the job, then I'll be happy. When I lose weight, then I'll be confident. When I retire, then I'll relax. But the future never arrives. It is always now. Happiness can only be found now. He also shows how the past traps us. People say, I am this way because of my past. But the past is gone. It exists only as memory. Identity built on the past is illusion. You are not your past. You are the awareness of this moment. So the first lesson of the power of now is profound. Freedom begins when you step out of time and into now. The past cannot be changed. The future cannot be controlled. But the present can be lived. And in the present there is peace. Imagine sitting quietly, focusing on your breath. Thoughts may arise. Regrets, worries, plans. But if you observe them without judgment, they pass like clouds in the sky. Beneath them is the clear blue sky of awareness. That sky is the now. This is not philosophy. It is practice. Every time you catch yourself lost in thought, gently return to the now. Feel your breath. Listen to sounds. Notice sensations in your body. These are gateways to presence. The illusion of time is the greatest trap of the mind. But once you see through it, you awaken to life. You realize that peace is not in tomorrow or yesterday. It is here. It is now. Eckhart Tolle explains that one of the greatest obstacles to living in the present moment is the ego. The ego is the false self, the voice in your head that constantly says, I am my thoughts, I am my achievements, I am my possessions. It thrives on comparison, judgment, and fear. The ego cannot survive in the now because in the now it dissolves. Think about how often your mind says things like, I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be respected when I buy that car. I'll be secure when I earn more money. This is the ego speaking. Ties your identity to external things, always in the future. But the truth is, none of those things define you. You are not your job, your car, or your bank account. You are the awareness behind it all. Connected to the ego is what Tolle calls the pain body. The pain body is the emotional baggage we carry from past wounds, disappointments, and traumas. It is like a shadow inside us, waiting to be triggered. When someone says something that reminds you of an old hurt, the pain body awakens. Suddenly, you feel anger, sadness, or resentment far greater than the situation itself. The pain body feeds on negative emotions. It wants drama. It wants conflict. Think about arguments. Often, it's not the present situation that causes the explosion, but old wounds resurfacing. A small disagreement becomes a storm because the pain body hijacks the moment. You shout, you cry, you slam doors. And later you wonder, why did I react so strongly? The answer is the pain body. Tolle teaches that the way to dissolve the pain body is awareness. When you feel anger rising, pause and observe it. Don't judge it, don't resist it, just notice. This is my pain body being triggered. The moment you observe it, you separate yourself from it. You realize, this anger is not me. It is a pattern. And in that awareness, the pain body loses power. He gives a powerful example. Imagine you are watching a storm outside your window. The wind howls, the rain pours, lightning flashes. But you are safe inside, observing. That is how awareness works. The storm of emotions may rage, but you are the observer. You are not the storm. This practice transforms relationships. Instead of reacting blindly, you pause. You listen. You see the other person not as an enemy, but as someone whose pain body may also be triggered. Compassion arises. Conflict dissolves. The ego and pain body thrive on time. The ego says, I will be happy in the future. The pain body says, I was hurt in the past. Both pull you out of the now. But when you enter the now, ego and pain body dissolve. In presence, there is no past or future. There is only awareness. Tolle emphasizes that this is not about suppressing emotions. Suppression only makes the pain body stronger. It is about observing emotions without identification. When you observe anger, sadness, or fear as patterns, they lose their grip. You realize you are not the emotion. You are the awareness behind it. So the second lesson of the power of now is clear. The ego and pain body are illusions that trap us in suffering. But awareness dissolves them. When you live in the now, you are free from the ego's demands and the pain body's drama. You discover a deeper self, the true self, that is beyond thought, beyond emotion, beyond time. Knowing that the present moment is the only reality is powerful, but the real question is, how do we actually enter the now? Eckhart Tolle explains that presence is not something complicated. It is simple, but it requires practice. The gateways to the now are always available. In your breath, in your body, in the sounds around you, in the awareness itself. Let's begin with the breath. Your breath is always happening in the present. You cannot breathe yesterday's air, and you cannot breathe tomorrow's. You can only breathe now. So when your mind races with thoughts, bring attention to your breathing. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, leaving your body. This simple act anchors you in the now. Another gateway is the body. Tolle invites us to feel the aliveness within. Close your eyes and notice the tingling in your hands, the pulse in your feet, the energy flowing through your body. This inner aliveness is presence. It reminds you that life is happening now, not in your thoughts. Sound is another doorway. Listen deeply to the sounds around you. Birds singing, wind blowing, traffic passing. Don't label them, don't judge them, just listen. When you listen without thought, you enter the now. Tolle emphasizes that entering the now is not about stopping thoughts completely. Thoughts will arise. The key is to observe them without identification. Imagine your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. You are not the clouds. You are the sky. Thoughts come and go, but awareness remains. This shift is liberation. You realize, I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness observing my thoughts. And in that realization, the mind loses its grip. Presence is not passive. It makes you more alive, more creative, more compassionate. When you are present, you respond to life instead of reacting. You see beauty in ordinary things. The sunlight on a wall, the laughter of a child, the taste of food. You feel peace even in chaos. Tolle gives practical exercises. When you wash dishes, feel the water, the texture of the plates, the rhythm of your movements. When you walk, feel each step, the contact with the ground, the movement of your body. These simple acts become meditation when done with presence. He also explains that presence dissolves problems. Most problems exist only in psychological time. When you enter the now, problems shrink. You deal with what is in front of you, not with imagined scenarios. Life becomes manageable. Presence also transforms emotions. When fear arises, observe it. Don't resist, don't fight, just notice. This is fear. In that observation, fear loses power. The same is true for anger, sadness, or anxiety. Awareness disarms them. So the third lesson of the power of now is practical. Entering the now is simple. Focus on breath, body, sound, awareness. Observe thoughts without identification. Live each moment fully. And in that presence, you discover peace, joy, and freedom that cannot be shaken. Eckhart Tolle shows us that presence is not just a personal practice. It transforms every area of life, relationships, work, and even how we face death. Relationships. Most conflict in relationships comes from the ego and the pain body. The ego wants to be right, to win, to dominate. The pain body wants drama, to feed on old wounds. Together, they turn small disagreements into battles. But when you are present, everything changes. Imagine listening to someone without judgment, without preparing your response, without defending yourself. You simply listen. You hear not just their words, but the emotions beneath them. Presence creates space. In that space, love arises. Love is not possession, not control, not demand. Love is presence. Tolle explains that true love is unconditional because it is rooted in awareness, not ego. When you are present, you see the other person not as an object to fulfill your needs, but as a soul sharing this moment. Conflict dissolves. Compassion grows. Work. Presence also transforms how we work. Most people rush through tasks, always focused on the future. When I finish this project, then I'll relax. When I get the promotion, then I'll be happy. But this mindset creates stress and burnout. When you are present, work becomes flow. You immerse yourself in the task, fully engaged. The quality of your work improves because you are not distracted by past regrets or future worries. Creativity blossoms because presence opens the mind. Think about artists, athletes, or musicians. Their best performances happen when they are fully present, lost in the moment. That state is called the zone. Presence brings you into the zone in everyday life. Washing dishes, writing emails, leading meetings, all become opportunities for presence. Success becomes a byproduct of presence. You don't chase it, you embody it. Perhaps the most profound transformation comes in how we face death. Most fear of death comes from the ego. The ego clings to identity, possessions, achievements, says, I must survive, I must continue. But in the now, death is simply a transition. Tolle explains that life is eternal. What dies is the form, not the essence. Presence reveals that you are not your body, not your thoughts, not your ego. You are awareness itself. Awareness is timeless. When you live in the now, death loses its terror. You realize that life and death are not opposites. They are part of the same flow. Just as day turns into night, life turns into death, and death into new life. Imagine standing by the ocean. Waves rise and fall, but the ocean remains. Life is the ocean. Forms rise and fall, but awareness remains. So the fourth lesson of the power of now is clear. Presence transforms relationships into love, work into flow, and death into peace. It shows that awareness is eternal, beyond ego, beyond fear. This is not escape. It is the deepest engagement with life. Presence makes you more alive, more compassionate, more fearless. It reveals that the now is not just a moment. It is eternity itself. Now that we've explored Eckhart Tolle's teachings, the illusion of time, the ego and pain body, the gateways to presence, and how awareness transforms relationships, work, and even death, it's time to step back and see the bigger picture. The power of now is not just a book. It is a doorway. A doorway out of suffering, out of fear, out of endless mental chatter. A doorway into peace, joy, and freedom. Think about what you've learned. Past is memory. The future is imagination. The present moment is the only reality. The ego and pain body dissolve when you observe them with awareness. Presence is simple, found in breath, body, sound, and silence. And when you live in the now, love deepens, work becomes flow, and even death loses its fear. This is not philosophy. It is practice. Every time you pause and breathe, every time you observe without judgment, every time you step into awareness, you enter the now. And in the now, you discover a peace that cannot be shaken, a joy that does not depend on circumstances, and a freedom that is beyond the mind. If this cinematic summary inspired you, imagine the impact of reading the full book. Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now has transformed millions of lives, and it can transform yours too. The Amazon link is waiting in the description and pinned comment. Grab your copy today and step into the now. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon. Because every week, we bring you cinematic book summaries that don't just inform, they transform.